Guys, make some noise for the very funny Geoff Plitt.
What's up, guys? Give it up for your host again. Give it up for this guy in the front row with two ladies. You guys have heard me speak a few sentences now. I have a very specific voice. I sound like a guy you meet at a party who's about to explain Bitcoin. Very true. What's your name, bro?
Chen.
Chen. Do you like whistling?
Sure.
Sure. Everyone whistles now and then when they're bored. But I whistle much more than that. I think whistling is a universal form of communication. Let me explain. In any country, if you hear... That's universal. You know it's time for a gunfight. And every woman in here knows that wherever you go, when you hear... What's the translation? Can we have sex? The answer is always no. You may not know this one if you hear... You just met R2-D2. You're at a Star Wars convention. But here's when I'll bet no one knows. If you hear... You know what that means? It means I'm an alarmingly good whistler. I think I would translate that one as, I have a bird on my finger, won't you frolic with me? Which I've used in many situations. Funny thing about whistling, it makes it look like your lips are kissing somebody while you do it. But I found through trial and error that whistling is a great way to guarantee I'll be kissing nobody. My last name is Plitt. Rhymes with shit. Rhymes with a lot of bad things. Worst nickname I ever had that I can recall, 5th grade, they called me Plitterus. Right there in health class. In 6th grade, they changed it, thank God, from Plitterus to Plittoris. So, hated it in 5th grade, hated it even more in 6th grade. Finally, in 7th grade, I actually started to appreciate it. I realized, you know, Plitterus, that kind of fits me. I'm small, I'm very sensitive, and sometimes I am hard to find. So it makes sense. Let's see, recently, guys, I had a health scare, and I got tested, and thank God, I have non-toxic masculinity. That was rough. I've noticed recently that a lot of people diss the University of Phoenix online. I think it gets some bad press. I don't think it's fair, the University of Phoenix. Wait for them to fail. Out of the ashes will rise a much better university. Resurrection of Uber's crazy. How many of you got here tonight in an Uber? By a show of silence. Wow, the whole group. Yeah, I got in an Uber recently, and the guy was listening to loud Christian rock. I don't know if you guys know, but the Lord, he loves heavy metal. I had a feeling the driver had no idea what was going on. I said, "What are you listening to?" He goes, "Rock and roll, bro." I said, "No, that's Christian rock." He goes, "What?" And the lyrics start going, "In his name, in the Lord's holy name." And the guy's like, "Whoa. I guess I'm Christian now." He's like, "Are you a believer?" And I said, "No, I don't believe in Christian rock." Because I don't. Bird scooters also nuts. Bird scooters. I think that bird scooters are an amazing form of transportation, but also an amazing form of birth control. Right? You go to the club on a bird scooter, you can hear vaginas closing for business. Not a good look there. Take a look at me, guys. I'm not a tall man, and I'm not accustomed to women throwing themselves at me. But recently I was in a bar, and this girl comes right up to me. She's like, "Oh my God, you're perfect." I'm like, "Whoa, go on." She's like, "Yeah, you're everything I've been looking for." I'm like, "Go on." And she goes, "I want to take you with me right now. Let's go meet my boyfriend." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 boyfriend? Go on." She's like, "Let me explain. See, my boyfriend, he's tall and muscular, like Arnold Schwarzenegger even. And you, on the other hand, have you ever seen the movie Twins?" I said, "Hold on, I get it. Your tall-ass boyfriend sent you out friend scouting for a Danny DeVito counterpart? That's why you said I look perfect? You realize that's really insulting. Why would I come with you to meet your boyfriend?" So we go to meet the boyfriend. He takes one look at me and he's like, "No way, babe. This guy? He's not going to work at all. He's way too tall." Best day of my life. I love the UFC. It's kind of like boxing with no rules. I mean, there's some rules. You can't bite or kick someone in the nuts, which is why I want to start an all biting and nut kicking league. The head of the UFC was interviewed several years back, and he's like, there will never be a woman in the octagon. And now we have all these famous martial arts female fighters, right? So I'm just waiting for him to go, there will never be a toddler in the octagon. Just wait for that. Where are my pot smokers at?
Hey!
All right. Give it up for our one pot smoker. Yeah. What's your name, bro?
Hey, I'm Paul.
Paul. Has this ever happened to you? My weed got so dried out that it was powdery, I didn't know what to do. So this is what I did. I Googled, how do you smoke dried out weed? And this guy had a tip. He's like, do this. You take a paper towel, you wet it, you put it in the jar, seal it up, and then the next morning it'll be moist and perfect. And if you do it just like I did, it'll be filled with mildew.
Right.
So I'm looking at this mildewy weed, didn't know what to do. I did what any of you would do. I Googled, can you smoke mildew? This one guy had a tip. He's like, here's what you do. Apparently, you grind all the mildewy weed into a fine powder, pour that into a syringe, add rubbing alcohol, inject that through a filter with molecule-sized holes in it, grab a spoon, grab a lighter, go to the oven. By the time I read that far, I'm like, I don't think I'm that kind of pot. If you're going to go that far, switch to crack. You'll be happy. I'll leave you guys with this. I'm going to go sexual just for a moment. Don't tense up. I think most guys at some point are anxious about penis size. Most guys worry about it. I do not. I was with this girl, and we were having sex. She's like, Geoff, you have a mean dick. And she's right. I have the national average. Now, if you didn't just laugh, you're the lowest common denominator. I'm coming at you guys with median dick energy. So. Thanks, guys. I'm Geoff. Good night.
Keep it going for Geoff Plitt, guys. One more time for him.